So what will the Pocket 4 look like? It's about the time of year when we can start speculating. This thing has been out for 8 months now, so we can expect them to be sort of thinking about making a new one. What will it look like? What features will it have? More importantly, what features do we want? What features do you want? Because over the last few months or so, I've been making a lot of videos on the Pocket 3, and what I've done, I've written down the best ideas and the best comments from you guys, and I've got one in particular from this guy. Check this out at the end of the video. Make sure you stick to the end. This one is absolutely amazing. I didn't even think about it myself. This feature would be absolutely game changing. But first of all, the first one that you guys want is weatherproof. Not waterproof, but water resistant, weather resistant. This thing just isn't water or weather resistant at the moment. The ports are open on here, you've got the SD card open, and it's just not going to be ideal for sort of really inclement weather, especially in the UK. Here at the moment, it is summertime, but we're still getting rain every other day, and that sort of stops me from taking this camera out more than I want to take it out. So weather resistance, weatherproofness, if possible, would be fantastic. That's the first one. Next one is waypoints. Waypoints is something that you guys have asked for, and the ability to actually program different waypoints if we're doing a certain kind of filming scenario, that would be great. We can of course do motion time-lapse, but we don't want to do a time-lapse all the time. We want the ability to set waypoints and move the camera around in certain points in the time. You can do it with like the DJI Gimbals, for instance. You can set waypoints for it to move left, right, even up to 6 waypoints at a time. So why can't we do it with this? That would be good. The next one is gimbal lock. Now they've introduced a new mode recently, which was FPV lock mode, and that sort of was a very subtle upgrade. It was sort of limited the rotation of the FPV mode, and it just doesn't really make that much difference to the footage. I'm not sure what they were trying to do there, but what we want is we want the gimbal to be locked. We want it to be open, active as a camera, but then lock all the axes, so we have a fixed field of view camera essentially with that 1-inch sensor. Of course, you'd probably sacrifice a bit of stabilization. I'm sure they'd be able to add some image stabilization in the camera whilst adding a bit of a crop to the image, so it wouldn't be ideal for vlogging scenarios, but I think that would come in very useful. Just the ability to just lock the gimbal when we want to. That would be a good feature for me personally. 1/4 inch on the bottom of the camera instead of a 1/4 inch on the bottom of the battery base. I'm sure they could do that because, you know, this is called the Pocket, and yes, it's pocketable when you've got it like this, but when you put the battery base on and then the tripod on, it's, you know, it's not really a pocket device. Then it becomes quite large. So yeah, I'd like to see them add a 1/4 inch on the bottom of here, so we could add a tripod on the bottom of the camera instead of having just a 1/4 inch on the bottom of the battery base. That's a small request from me, please. DJI, please pay attention. I know you're listening. I know you're watching. A big one from all of you guys commented on this one: exposure lock in camera and focus lock in camera, especially exposure lock. You can only do it at the moment via the application, so you can lock the exposure when you've got the DJI Mimo app connected to the camera, but you can't do it in camera. And that, for me, should have been one of the first updates or one of the things they released when they released this camera. So a lot of you out there, like lots of you out there, are asking for exposure lock. That makes sense. It's just got to be a regular software update, so surely they can do that before we even get the Pocket 4. So hopefully exposure lock will be an update soon. The next couple of points were brought up by my good mate Danny Black. Go and check his channel out. I'll link it in the description down below. He made some really good points about the Pocket Pro, that he reckons it's going to be called, or the Pocket 4. 360 rotation. This is still limited to 270 degrees. It doesn't rotate all the way around. Other gimbals on the market do, so we'd like 360 degrees rotation. That was Danny's main point of his video. And then gesture control and voice commands. I'm not sure why we haven't got gesture control. Other manufacturers like Insta360 have got gesture control on most of their devices now. Maybe it needs a faster chip inside of this device. Maybe they'll bring that out in the Pocket 4, but gesture control is a big one because you want to be able to put your hand up or your palm or throw a V sign to start recording instead of having to start record and then track your face and do the tracking afterwards. It'd be good to be able to sort of use gesture control and voice commands. GoPro have had voice commands for a few years now, so those features should be a given in my opinion. I want a more rugged and robust design. I'm still not 100% sold on this for my everyday vlogging, adventure, YouTube camera while I'm out and about filming different videos. it's still a bit flimsy to me, and I'm still a little bit scared of using this, especially because, you know, I bought this myself. It was a lot of money, £620. I don't want to break it. I don't want to have to replace it. A little bit more of a robust and rugged design for me would be brilliant. I've seen the horror show sort of things on Instagram where the screen pops off. I've personally not had any issues with it at the moment, but I just still feel like it's a little bit delicate, and I won't be throwing it on the floor or chucking it in a rucksack without thinking about where I was placing it. So yeah, that's my request. That one is. I've thought about this idea where they could actually turn the screen into a fill light for dark scenarios. Now, something like they have on the Apple Watch Ultra, so you press the torch on and it turns into a torch, and it does, in really dark scenarios, give off enough light to illuminate stuff. So couldn't they do that with the screen on the Pocket 3? I know the screen is, I think it's 1000 nits, so that would be pretty bright. When you're in really dark scenarios, flip the torch on as like a screen torch and have the camera towards you. It'd illuminate itself enough with that 1-inch sensor to give yourself a better picture at night. So I'm throwing that out there. That's a free design upgrade for you, DJI. That one's on the house. Now, the last one I promised you would be an absolute gem. Now, let me just get it for you. So this comment was from Hufoto, I think I've got that right. He said, why don't we have the ability to pair this DJI remote controller for the drones that has a built-in screen with the Pocket 3 to use the joysticks to control the gimbal? So if you have a second shooter, you're filming a video, because it, you know, the picture is good enough to film sort of pro level YouTube videos at the very least. So you could have somebody helping you film, follow you around. I know it's got tracking, but you could do it a bit more professionally. Control focus, you know, control exposure and everything from the DJI drone remote, because, you know, you can control this up and down, left and right, and you've got a really high quality screen to monitor the audio and to monitor the video. Why can't we do that? I thought that was an absolutely genius idea, and I think if they did that, well, I think everybody would buy it. So there we go, 10 upgrades, 10 ideas that we'd like to see in the Pocket 4 or the Pocket Pro, whatever they call it. This is an amazing camera, and, you know, not every device is perfect. This thing is pretty damn close. It's one of the best releases of the year, and that shows when I publish a video about this. It gets some views, it's generally very popular. People have got good things to say about this. It's not perfect, but hopefully in the next release with the Pocket 4 or whatever it's going to be called, that they'll implement some of those ideas that we've given DJI for free. No problem, DJI, you're welcome, and hopefully they implement some of them for us. Okay, that's it for this one. Let me know if you've got any more ideas about how to improve the Pocket 3 as regards to moving to the Pocket 4. I'll be really interested to know. You know, if you've got any more genius ideas like a photo, I'll be definitely interested to know. But that's it for this one. If you like this video, make sure you check out this one over here, and if you want to check out my Pocket 3 video over here, check that one out as well. Okay, see you in the next one, guys. Bye.